First, the top news headlines. Supreme Court to hold final hearing of pleas challenging sedition law on May 5. Hello and a very good afternoon. You're watching the MAMI TV Afternoon News Bulletin. I'm ALBINA RIAMEI. The Supreme Court on Wednesday paused to May 5 for the final hearing of a batch of petitions challenging the constitutional validity of the offence of sedition under Section 124A of a bench of Chief Justice of India N.V. Ramana, Justices Surya Kant and Hima Kohli granted time till this week's end to the centre to file its response on the pleas after Solicitor General Tushar Mehta, appearing for the centre, sought 2 days to file a reply. The bench, posting the matter for final hearing on May 5, also made it clear that no adjournment would be granted in the case. During the hearing, Solicitor General Mehta submitted that the central government's affidavit is ready. Some time is required to make some changes and can be filed within 2 days. While pointing out that sedition law was used against freedom fighters like Mahatma Gandhi and Bal Gangadhar Tilak, the apex court had asked Attorney General K.K. Benugopal why it can't be repealed. Imphal West Police arrested one person trying to rob an ATM near Langjing Bazaar this morning around 2:30 a.m. According to police reports, the person has been identified as Chongmirem Koireng, age 19, son of Ngamkhel Koireng of Longa Koireng. The CCTV company alerted the Imphal West control room after an alarm went off while he was trying to break open the machine. Later, Patsoi police station apprehended the person on the spot. No cash was recovered from his possession as he couldn't take out money. A case has been registered against the person to investigate the robbery. Former MLA of Ketrigao Assembly constituency and BJP candidate in the concluded general elections of the state, Nahakpam Indrajit, has filed an election petition against the MLA of the constituency, Nurul Hassan, at Manipur High Court. The motion hearing for the petition will be held at Court Number 3 by Justice M.B. Muralidharan, Advocate L. Rohisant, T.H. Loya Ngamba and Ajay Pibam will take the case for petitioner Indrajit. In the election petition, Indrajit appealed to the court to not accept MLA Sheikh Nurul Hassan as the MLA of the constituency as announced by the returning officer since he fought the election defying the election norms. Instead, he must be declared the MLA who got the maximum number of votes for the second time in the election. MLA of Moirang Assembly constituency, Thongam Shanti, inaugurated Kaipa Garden yesterday at Thamna Pokpi. Speaking on the occasion, Shanti said the newly opened garden, especially the ecotourism component of the garden, will attract tourists. The viewpoint of Loktak makes it more convenient for the tourists. Hence, MLA Shanti sought people's support for the development of the garden.
Maruiba kaya kaido tamogadi garden sina akhoi samaja afaba porbe muda hela amango hela bisiya garden sida sangbagi niti niyo se am strictly tamogadi masina mang riba se bisiya mandi nawi lam jaga sida yam ari banga hajik sa kanadani guli sariba number 4 ka bisiya nupi basa nipa basa singa phalba sidagi leiba selinje why? Can you know this? Madu itadi gardens in the Subatu Malay and the Civil Purel Agadi. Mase Morocco garden with doing.
Proprietor of Kaipa Garden, M. Shyam, said the garden was established with a vision to promote tourism in Moirang. The garden has the facility of night stay, he said.
I would say, Mati ma'am say what 5 say maru in money depend on पैसा सिदा डिपेंड तौरगा अखोना तौरकदब थबक थबक ngaktanena adu matungina अखोना matam matam di pambasing yengatan अखोना sing adu nunda sangsingda.
The garden has a conference hall, swimming pool, lake view tower and playground for children. MLA of Moirang AC Thongam Shanti, SDPO of Moirang L Shanti Kumar, and President of NPP Moirang Block PH Maga attended the inaugural function. Kangpokpi Town Committee, Kangpokpi Women Welfare Organization and Kangpokpi Youth Union in coordination with Sadar Hills Autonomous District Council, Kangpokpi jointly organized a Kangpokpi Town public meeting yesterday. The meeting was chaired by Chairman of Kangpokpi Town Committee, Angam Leivon, Caretaker Chairman of ADC Sadar Hills, Haukolal Hang Singh. During the meeting, they discussed the increasing and rampant use, sale and supply of contraband drugs, which becomes a threat to the younger generation of the town in particular and the nation as a whole. Different issues like drugs, water shortage, sanitation problems and air pollution among others. In connection with the Asian Highway bypass of Kangpokpi town, the meeting unanimously resolved to fight in favor of the proposed Asian Highway bypass of the town on the western flank of the town and request the NHIDCL to continue the construction work of the bypass road of Kangpokpi town as proposed by the people of Kangpokpi town at the earliest in the public interest. Prime Minister Narendra Modi interacted with the chief ministers to review the COVID-19 situation. Union Home Minister spoke about the recent increase in COVID case in some states and about the need to follow test, track, treat, vaccination and ensure COVID-appropriate behavior. Union Health Secretary gave a presentation in which he discussed the rise of cases across several countries in the world, while also highlighting the rise of cases in some states in India. He spoke about the need for states to regularly monitor and report data, maintain effective surveillance, upgrade infrastructure and utilize funds given by the center. The chief ministers thanked Prime Minister for timely guidance and support since the start of the pandemic. They said that this review meeting has been called by the Prime Minister at the right time. They gave an overview of the status of COVID cases and vaccination in their states. Later, Prime Minister noted the collective efforts of center and state in the fight against corona. In his first statement on rising fuel prices in India, Prime Minister Narendra Modi took aim at opposition ruled states during a meeting on Wednesday afternoon and asked them to reduce taxes. On the other hand, the opposition ruled state governments have not taken very kindly to Prime Minister Modi's remarks during the COVID-19 review meet on Wednesday. They have accused him of lying to cover his failures, treating non-BJP states with a stepmother attitude and attempting to deflect criticism targeted at the central government. India reported a total of 3,303 new COVID-19 cases with 39 deaths in the last 24 hours. This took the total number of infections to over 4.30 crore and the active cases increased to 16,980 according to the Union Health Ministry. The country also reported 5.23 lakh COVID-related fatalities. The active cases comprise 0.04% of the total infections, while the national COVID-19 recovery rate was recorded as 98.74%. The ministry said. Meanwhile, with 2,563 patients having recovered in the last 24 hours, and the cumulative tally of the recovered patients surged to 4.25 crore. India's COVID-19 vaccination coverage has also exceeded 188.40 crore across the country. On the other hand, COVID-19 vaccination for the age group 12 to 14 years, which started on 16 March, has crossed more than 2.78 crore. Before we end the bulletin, let's look at the top news headlines once again. Imphal That's all for now. Thank you for joining us. Have a great day ahead.